so many people are writing books and putting their books in a story. So this is what opportunity, could we provide where people can have a platform to be able to not only share their stories through their book, but take their pages to the stage. And so that is pretty much what We're Hiding Behind the Pages came from.
The reason that I am here is because I have lived a life full of excitement and success, but the whole time I was in pain.
My daughter, Sheree Nicole Jackson, at the age of 2.5 years old, was diagnosed with neuroblastoma.
How many of us in here have been sexually abused as a child? Just raise your hand. If you've been sexually abused as a child, raise your hand. Okay. I'm one of those people as well.
People know my story, know that I came out about being molested after hearing Todd Bridges' story on Oprah.
That happened to me, but it don't define who I am. So I created a platform, I created a program, Pain to Purpose. And what I do is I help people overcome that pain. Because
the 3 hardest words that I've heard in my whole life. First one was, your daughter has cancer. The second one was, you have cancer.
Type 1 diagnosis. My 5-year-old was diagnosed when he was 18 months, and my 21-year-old, he was diagnosed when he was 5 years old. So I have viewed myself as being a part-time pancreas.
We talk about that now, even in the African American community, about mental health. We don't talk about things that make us feel some type of way. It was early crazy. And that's all.
So I was at 14 years old on Skid Row in Los Angeles for over a year, eating out of trash cans. 40 years old. I've been homeless 4 times in my 40 years. And I come from a loving, God-fearing family.
In 2015, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Guess what? I'm still here. I say I'm still here because cancer is not my zodiac sign.
But one thing she always told me, Mommy, God's got my back. Where'd that come from?
That the Lord allowed me to go through that to bless somebody else's life.
Yes.
Too much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
Your story.
And I remember that so well. I woke up back in October of last year. I took a nap. Woke up, tried to get off the bed, and I hit the floor.
When you fight something this big, you can't happen to be nothing but transparent.
Yes.
Because if God is so good to me, why come I can't share and help somebody else?
Yes.
You think that it's not as urgent, like it's not as serious, because the juvenile type 1 takes shots, but type 2 is just as serious because you have to keep your levels balanced to keep them from having complications.
Your story, you didn't live your story just for you. And sometimes you wonder, I said, Lord, why would you allow the scars that I've had to go through? I was listening to a lady talk about being raped, and I began to question God in church.
Through my daughter's death, I gained courage. Through my daughter's death, I gained a voice. And through my life, I look back and I've overcome the tragedy that would have killed those parents.
I may not look like I'm in pain, but I'm in pain every day.
I just feel very fortunate and blessed to be here today. I knew something amazing was going to happen today, and man, was I here for a ride?
I said, Lord, I said that. I said, Lord, why would you allow a lady to be raped, knowing that she would be in ministry or knowing that she would be raped? Why would you allow? He said, because I needed somebody to go through it.
Yes.
To help another somebody who doesn't know me the way you do.
Come on, God.
It's rare for someone to fight colon cancer and still be standing after 10 years.
Yes.
It's a hard fight, and I make it look good because I am determined. I am that person that God showed me my mission through the death of my daughter, and I learned that lesson. So
I start writing. Now, I've had the gift of writing my whole life, but I created every excuse not to focus on writing. And now it's in a position where I needed writing to release this pain.
Because there's a lot of $1 billion in the grave now. Don't you be one of them.
Come on now.
be one that utilizes all your gifts and talents right here on earth, so that when you do die and you go in that graveyard or wherever you're gonna go, because I say burn me, but wherever you're going to go, let that be that you have lived a full life so that you are dying.
This is a book about accountability, self-discipline, and self-analyzation. Looking at
All the way from an early beginning of being molested as a kid by 3 different men, 2 men in my own family.
I myself have been abused as a child. I've been in some unwanted relationships with men. I've never been hit on, but I've been spoken to in an abusive type manner. At the time, I didn't realize that's abusive. I took it because I have tough skin. I grew up with 3 brothers in the house.
Her story became my story. Her story became my purpose. So now I'm walking in my purpose. And before I was afraid because I said people don't want to hear what I got to say. I don't give a hell if nobody want to hear what I got to say because of the fact that I'm helping everybody.
No reason you do.
Come on, God.
That's the reason I turned my face from my son to die on the cross for people who won't even love him. Would die, give his life up for people who today won't even serve him.
May not affect you today. Cancer may not affect you tomorrow. But one thing, when cancer starts to travel down your street, meaning your family, when it starts to knocking on your door, it's going to knock lightly because those are silent symptoms. We don't want to miss the symptoms.
I thank God for my hills and my valleys. And I thank God for the journey He has me on. Prayerfully, who I am and what I've gone through will help somebody else along the way. That's all I got to say. Bye-bye.
Man.
Questions that you might have regarding what you've heard, if you want to address one of the speakers you made, but Boom is here to bring the solution to any problem that you might have.
See, the problem with us in life, we all got something, but we got it over there in the wrong place. Here's the other problem. When God sends you on a journey, you so scared to go that you tying ribbons around the old oak tree so you can make it back home. You know, okay, that one ribbon. Yeah, you trying to come back. See, when He send you on a journey, it ain't made you to come back. So what you telling God is tying ribbons, putting stuff where you can see it on the way back. I don't trust where you're sending. So if you don't trust what God sending you, He just let you trust what the faith sends. And that's the whole problem in life. Life is really ABC. And really, God made it real simple. ABC. You don't want to put all them other alphabets in there. You all in the Z's and W's and all over the place. Come on now. He said, share your gift, your time, yes, Lord, amen, and your talent.
Yes.
That's A, B,